What's up residents, Alistair here, and today we're going to explore the blatant growth spurt Kong has experienced in Godzilla vs. Kong. What could have caused it, and why did it happen? We'll explore this today on DangerVille. But before we delve into this, I'd like to tell you that in the middle of this video, we will feature a sponsor, and if you could hear them out, that would be greatly appreciated. Thanks guys, we love you. Now on to the video. Hello once again residents. We know you're all confused as to why Kong is going to grow so large for Godzilla vs. Kong, but today on DangerVille we're going to explore the reasons as to why he might grow to the size he is in the leaked trailer seen during the Warner Bros. Panel in Brazil. Let's get this out of the way, they didn't shrink Godzilla. For all you wondering how Kong and Godzilla are the same size, it's purely because Kong is larger, as was foreshadowed in Kong Skull Island. I know many people are thinking this since in the image it shows Kong and Godzilla standing on what looks like an aircraft carrier, but rest assured if it's an oceanic vessel, it won't be any standard aircraft carriers that we're used to seeing. It would most likely be some enormous monarch-based vessel used for transporting titans like Kong from one continent to another. That's if it's even an aircraft carrier at all and not just a dock by the ocean. So don't worry about whether they shrunk Godzilla, because they didn't. So if Godzilla stays the same height he was in King of the Monsters, which was 393 feet tall, then we can calculate that Kong will be around 360 to 370 feet, based on the leaked images, which we cannot show due to copyright reasons, but the link will be in the description. It might look like Kong is the same height as Godzilla, though in the leaked image Kong is in the middle of a small jump and Godzilla isn't standing completely upright. It looks like Godzilla was in the process of rising out the ocean to face Kong. Now a lot of people seem to have made the claim that the growth spurt is far-fetched, but is it really so? Well, if we average it out to a growth of around 270 feet in the space of 46 years, that equals around 6 feet a year, which considering the scale of the Titans, isn't far-fetched at all. In Kong Skull Island, Hank Marlowe stated that Kong was still growing, and since he's been stranded on Skull Island since World War II, he would have known about the sheer speed of Kong's growth by watching him over the years. Now it's not unusual for Godzilla and Kong to be the same size, since in the 1962 original they were both 150 feet tall, which Toho specifically designed so it would be a fair and even fight. So clearly they wanted to replicate the same style of combat. Legendary recognizes that both Kong and Godzilla have their own respective advantages and disadvantages, such as Godzilla's sheer mass and atomic breath being his advantages, and Kong's superior problem-solving skills and faster movement as his advantages. Though if Kong was to stay 100 feet tall, not only would it make no sense, but it would become massively unfair. The almost 300-foot height difference would give Godzilla an unfair advantage and would lead to a very one-sided fight. At the end of the day, we want to see the best and most exciting film possible. If one side was to have an unfair advantage, it wouldn't be very fun. If Kong remained 100 feet tall, a single tail whip would break every bone of his body, so it wouldn't be a very long fight. Before we continue with the topic, please take a moment to hear out our sponsor, since this video wouldn't be possible without them. You know what I'm about to say. I know you know, because you're smart, and I like you. This video was sponsored by the current gaming phenomenon known as Raid Shadow Legends. You've probably heard of it since it's one of the top 3 ranked RPGs in the Google Play Store. Not only that, but it's just been nominated as a finalist for the Google Play's Best of 2019's Users' Choice Awards. We felt like the perfect people to bring you this game since it has one thing we love here at DangerVille, and that's monsters. And there's plenty of them here. It's also had a hand in creating a bunch of new monster fans with over 15 million downloads in only 6 months. So what the hell is Raid, I hear you angrily typing in the comment section? Well residents, I'll tell you. Raid is a turn-based epic fantasy RPG with over 400 champions to choose from. It's basically a full console game, but on your phone. It has a fully voiced single-player campaign, which I absolutely root for. The visuals give off a Lord of the Rings vibe, and if you know anything about Jacob and I, we love us some Tolkien. For a phone, these graphics are just mental. There's a PvP arena mode in case you want to show off your skills, or you can raid online with friends in a clan, which will make party players happy. There's endless options to play the way you want to play. And best of all, It's free. What more do you want? Whether that's fighting in the arena, running special dungeons, or just leveling up your heroes, there's always a way to compete and win extra prizes every week. Go to the video description, click on special links, and you will get 50,000 silver and a free epic champion as part of the new player program to start your journey. Thanks for listening, and back to the video. Now let's go over some theories people have about Godzilla vs. Kong in attempts to explain how Kong could grow to the same size shown in the leaked pictures. In King Kong vs. Godzilla, Kong ate a special type of berry which led him to grow to the size he was. The villagers would deliver ginormous tubs of crushed berries to Kong, and he would drink it like a Brit downing a pint. Could the same plot device be implemented into Godzilla vs. Kong? I personally think it's unlikely that Legendary would implement this, as we saw the villagers' way of life in Skull Island, and no such ceremony was mentioned, where the villagers would deliver berries to please Kong, which the villagers saw as their king. Another theory is that Monarch uses Ghidorah's DNA to genetically alter Kong, which leads to a growth spurt, as well as giving Kong the power to control lightning, mimicking his powers of electricity, which we saw in the original King Kong vs. Godzilla. The human intervention could play a big role, as we saw it hinted at during the end credits scene from Godzilla King of the Monsters. With Alan Jonah purchasing the head of King Ghidorah, they might have the intentions of getting rid of Godzilla, as he stands as a protector of the planet, preventing their true plan from being carried out. A plan that involves the monsters roaming freely, with mankind basically being wiped out. Though I don't see this happening, as Charles Dance, the actor that plays Alan Jonah, isn't in the cast list for Godzilla vs. Kong, and since he would be such an integral character, I highly doubt his organization would be involved in the growth of Kong. Fun fact: in King Kong vs. Godzilla, Godzilla was originally meant to be the Frankenstein's monster, but this was rewritten by Toho to be Godzilla to increase ticket sales. This explains how he has the power of electricity, since lightning is what gave Frankenstein's monster life in the novel and the 1931 film. It's alive! It's alive! You can even see remnants of this choice in international posters for later Godzilla releases, which instead of using Godzilla's name, would use Frankenstein's. End of fun fact. The most likely reason for Kong's growth spurt is most likely the most normal answer. He's simply growing at a completely natural rate. One must also consider the fact that Kong, unlike Godzilla, doesn't have a long lifespan. He might be able to live for 100 years or so, therefore his growth occurs at a much more accelerated rate to Godzilla, which grows over the course of millions of years. And yes, whilst Godzilla did grow between the events of Godzilla 2014 and King of the Monsters, this is most likely due to the high levels of radiation, far higher than he's traditionally used to. Imagine it as if he was given a whole lot of steroids, beefing him up so he can rise out of the ocean once again. So what do you guys think of the rapid height growth for Kong? Do you think it's too much, or is it just right? Let us know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed our theory, it helps us know what you want us to make more of. Remember to subscribe to DangerVille and stomp that notification button so you don't miss out on everything Godzilla related. Another big thanks to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video and supporting the channel. I've been Alistair, and we'll see you in the next one.